local all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
And this morning, we are still tracking Fiona. We'll talk more about the damage caused and what's next for families who are dealing with the aftermath.
Testimony expected to continue this morning in the case against Alex Jones. What we're expecting to see in the courtroom today.
Watertown has a new deputy police chief this morning, and it's a familiar face. Just 5 months after retirement, Renee Dominguez once again protecting and serving. We'll have more on her message ahead.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for starting it off here on Fox 61 America Areas.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Here's a live look from Middletown this morning as we are getting this Tuesday started.
Ooh.
And wow, huh? I don't know what it's like now,
Can't
but
see
it
much.
was clear skies when I got into my car, and then you hit the Connecticut River Valley, and that fog just took over.
Yeah.
And enveloped I-91 at times.
It's the best part
creepy.
about the Connecticut River is that it goes obviously through the whole state. So you saw it on one end, and I saw it on the other.
Yeah.
We both had the same result. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
A little bit of fog, not a lot, but where it is socked you in quite nicely.
Yeah.
So we're watching the visibility half a mile to 2 miles around the Connecticut River Valley. The rest of the state is looking fine. Good morning. Some more scattered showers to deal with. A couple of interesting light show last night. Nothing severe, but some strong stuff coming through the state. We are watching Fiona get stronger, but where is she going? We will focus on her. And autumn comes in on a bit of a cool note. We'll talk about that coming up. 63 degrees in the 6 o'clock hour in Hartford, 68 in New Haven, 64 in Groton, down to our lucky 61 in Torrington. The humidity is still on a humid note for now, but we are with a northwesterly flow going to slowly dry out the atmosphere over the next 48 hours. Cloud and radar picture largely quiet above that low cloud deck. There's some showers that are pivoting around, moving into northern New York, heading towards the Albany capital region. We may get a little bit of that rain throughout the later on afternoon. As you can see, it is fairly isolated at best, not at all like what we had yesterday. 62 degrees for the high schoolers getting on the bus this hour, 76, and maybe a scattered shower or two as everybody gets off later on today. We'll talk about that cool down and when to expect it. You know, autumn about 48 plus about 60 hours away. How's that for quick math on live TV? We'll have that forecast coming up. Lauren Zenzi. Any math in the traffic department?
No, I am
good.
no
Okay.
mathematician. We will drive times, but that is not something that I am.
You're not going to calculate that for us?
Nope.
No,
Nope,
okay.
Nope. That is straight from the DOT. Thank you, DOT out there. Good morning, everyone. Not a whole lot to get to out on the roads this morning. Fairly clear. We see from our Hartford drive times 91, 84, Route 2, all looking good. Glastonbury, the Founders Bridge will take you about 6 minutes. Traffic moving right at speed limit. If we could take these graphics for everyone to see on the roads, Hartford and Waterbury, now that construction is cleared, is looking really good this morning. Right into the mix master, no delays there. Over in the New Haven area, 91 and 95 all moving freely north and south, also east and westbound. And then as we head into Fairfield, we're starting to see those delays start to build in the southbound side of I-95 over in the Fairfield area, right near exit 12. We'll check in again coming up in the next half hour, but for now, guys, I'll send things back over to you.
Lauren, thank you so much. And we are continuing to track Hurricane Fiona this morning. The storm leaving a trail of destruction and heartbreak all across the Caribbean.
Okay, so let's start with Puerto Rico. First, it was the heavy winds that knocked out power to the entire island. And this morning, millions are still in the dark. But even after the center of the storm moved on, heavy rain bands set up over the island, leading to flooding and landslides. More than 900 people had to be rescued. It's a big setback for a territory still trying to recover from Hurricane Maria 5 years ago.
And in the Dominican Republic, the storm brought heavy rain and a lot of flooding there. Authorities say one man died after he was hit by a fallen tree. More than 12,000 people have been displaced and 2 communities completely cut off by blocked highways. As Hurricane Fiona now makes its way into Turks and Caicos, Puerto Rico and other Caribbean countries are recovering after the storm ravaged their home as a Category 1 hurricane.
And some people here in Connecticut were there during it all. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc is joining us now live in the newsroom with that story. Good morning.
Good morning to you both. Yeah, this hurricane comes just 1 day short of the 5-year anniversary of Hurricane Maria, which is today. And while people are still recovering from that storm, Hurricane Fiona is making matters hours worse. Now, the devastation can be seen and felt throughout the Caribbean. This morning, people are waking up without power and hundreds without a home after being rescued during the storm. Now, many of our own Connecticut neighbors not only have family there, but were actually there and caught up in the thick of the storm, or at least they thought they were. Dozens of travelers left from the capital city of San Juan Monday afternoon and landed here at Bradley International Airport, shocked they were able to actually get home from Puerto Rico. They tell us it has been a scary and surreal experience.
We just, watching the rain fall, and we lost our power Sunday morning. It was pretty lovely. I'm glad to be back.
And it was really difficult. There was no place to eat breakfast. We were trying to really find places, and it's really sad, the news, to see how people were really, really scared. I thought that this was going to be canceled. Everything was canceled. We were near the airport. We knew there was no airplanes there. We got really, really lucky to be here.
Now, so far, as we mentioned, 2 deaths have been reported during Hurricane Fiona. One man who was swept away in a flooded river in Puerto Rico, and another man who was hit by a falling tree in the Dominican Republic. Now, the governor says it could take days to get the lights back on and more to recover. He says it is too soon to talk about how extensive the damage is just yet. So please stick with us throughout the morning as we continue to keep you updated, because as we know, Hurricane Fiona is not done with the Caribbean just yet. We will send it back to you.
Julia, thanks so much. I know you'll keep us all updated for sure. And we have continuing coverage for you into the impacts of Hurricane Fiona here on air on Fox 61 Plus and online on our Fox 61 News app. Now, if you don't have the app or you aren't sure how to download it, all you have to do is point your phone's camera to the QR code that just popped up on your screen right there. And that is automatically going to give you a link. It's going to pop up on your screen. And then you just have to follow the instructions to download the app. It's really that easy. A 3-year-old and a 10-month-old baby are missing, and police are looking for your help. Take a look at the descriptions that we have here. Lucas Sarkowski is 10 months old. He is blonde. He has he has blonde hair, brown eyes, and again, he's just 10 months old. And Sophia Sarkowski is 3 years old. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Now, the siblings have been missing since yesterday. We are working to get more information for you this morning, hopefully a picture and maybe some more information on who they might be with. If you have any information, please call the Middletown Police Department right away.
If you're in the Waterbury area today, just keep in mind you might see an increased police presence in and around the courthouse because the trial of conspiracy theorist and InfoWars host Alex Jones is expected to continue. Jones is expected to appear in court today, but he is not expected to testify. Yesterday, Fox 61 caught up with attorney Jim Bergen, who taught both the prosecutor and defense attorneys trying this case. He talked about the challenges surrounding cases like this one.
Lawyers are guided by very strong ethics. The client comes first. And unless the client suffers a diminished capacity, which I've had a number of those, you have to respect the client's choice.
And as we mentioned, while Jones is not expected to testify today, his corporate attorney, Brittany Paz, is expected to take the stand once again.
Happening today, taxes will be the topic of discussion in New Haven. Republican candidate for governor Bob Stefanowski and his running mate Laura Devlin are expected to announce their tax relief plan. It's expected to happen at about 1 o'clock on Dixwell Ave. Last month, when Stefanowski offered a tax cut proposal to eliminate 200 of what he calls nuisance taxes, Democrats have countered that. Governor Lamont has already cut millions in taxes for working families.
Today in Norwalk, HMTX Industries is expected to host a grand opening of its new headquarters. That's according to the governor's office. The company makes flooring and luxury vinyl tile. Now, the governor's office said the new HQ will generate green energy. Produce more than it uses and produce zero carbon emissions. Well, a Farmington police officer returned to work just over a year after being seriously hurt while on duty.
Yeah, Officer James O'Donnell was wheelchair bound after he was hit by a vehicle. Now, the moments captured on the police cruiser here, this is, we don't have the dash cam video, hopefully we will. That's him walking out of the police department right now. Now, he was injured and that resulted in a shattered sacrum, multiple pelvis fractures, and 2 broken bones in his foot. It has been a long road to recovery, requiring several surgeries and also physical therapy, but last night, O'Donnell was back in action.
I told the chief right then and there that night in the emergency room that I was going to be back, and I wasn't going to go against that promise.
Every update he gave me and gave the command staff was always about, I will be back. And you can't do that without willpower, and he certainly has that.
Now, Officer O'Donnell said he still has more physical therapy to go to, but he is doing well. As for the investigation, the chief says the criminal case is still underway and much is in the courts right now. Renee Dominguez taking over as the deputy police chief of the Watertown Police Department this week. You may remember that she was previously the acting police chief for New Haven when the City Board of Alders passed on her nomination to become the permanent chief. Well, now she's going to help lead a new department, which officials say they're ready.
As much as I congratulate Deputy Chief Dominguez for her new employment, the Watertown Police Department is certainly the winner in this situation.
And I think that all of those things that I learned in New Haven, especially at the level of assistant chief and chief, are going to help me in this role and just to be able to be the best that I could be.
Deputy Chief Dominguez says her goal is to build strong relationships with all officers and to become a recognizable and trusted leader in the community.